Good morning, everyone. It is day 6. We are almost to the end of our week of hope. And today I want to build on something I was talking about yesterday. So, yesterday we read the passage of Jesus and Mary and their child fleeing to Egypt. And I referenced my youngest being very headstrong and adventurous. And that's something I really love about her. And so when she was, one-ish, but really 1.5 to 2, we would go to this park down the street. We called it Fire Engine Park because there's this fire engine type um, toy or whatever building, jungle gym, whatever you want to call it. And there's plenty of other things, swings, giant slides, all that kind of stuff. And we'd ride our bikes or take the stroller, and we'd let her out of the stroller and she would just stand and look around and observe, take it all in. And then she would just start walking. And she'd take a few steps, look back, take a few more steps, look back. And I would be standing there, giving her that space, smiling at her and just kind of nodding. And then she would just keep walking and walking. And I stayed very attuned, even if I was talking to another parent or, trying to keep tabs on my other child who's only a couple years older than her. But she would go as far as she could. And this park is not, massive, but it's definitely, about a block in any direction. And there's a big field that, you can run around in and play soccer, football, whatever. And she would always test those limits. And as she's gotten older, she's tested them again and again. And I love it. She's not adventurous food. Her taste buds are pretty restrictive. We're going through a very picky phase, but she is so adventurous and she owns that and really comes from a place of joy and excitement when she explores the world. And I see a lot of hope for the world in her eyes as she goes out and explores and tests herself left and right. Meanwhile, her older sister is, a little more cautious, a little more studious. She's a happy child, right? But is still one that kind of assesses everything before she dives in and takes it after her mom and grandmother's a bit in that kind of worried state. And so as a dad, as a parent, I'm forced to have different playbooks. I have to engage both of them in different ways to help them navigate the world and think about what boundaries they need to overcome and what boundaries they need to also respect, both the physical and the boundaries of our home. What are the chores we have to do? What are the responsibilities we have? And so the question I want to pose to all as we close out day 6 is, how are you paying attention to who your children are? What are the hopes you have for them as they grow up, go out into the world? And how do you balance the hopes you have for them for who they are, right? We all have these visions for who our children could be, who we want them to be. We have hopes for them. Maybe they're going to be a rocket scientist or get a Nobel Peace Prize or win a marathon, right? We have these grandiose ideas. But in reality, our children are going to find their own path, and we need to be there to respect that and enjoy the life that they create as best we can and play a part in that. So reflect on that. Challenge yourself to really own, are you living vicariously through them and pushing them in ways that are not who they are meant to be? Or are you celebrating those wins for them and helping them find their own course? Think about it. It's not something we always like to dig into because it's a challenge to our own egos and who we are and who we aren't. But take some time today and reflect on that and share with us how you navigate it. Peace. See you tomorrow.